Pnawn da, y cynghorydd Sustan Lewis ydw i, a fi ydy is-gadeirydd y Pwyllgor Cynllunio. Hoffwn groesawu pawb i'r cyfarfod, sy'n gyfarfod aml leoliad. Yn ogystal ag aelodau'r Pwyllgor, mae gennym hefyd swyddogion yn ymuno ni i gynorthwyo gyda'n trafodaethau, ynghyd ag unrhyw siaradwyr cofrestredig. Bydd y cyfarfod yn cael ei ffrydio'n fyw a'i recordio a bydd ar gael i'w wylio ar ôl i'r cyfarfod ddod i ben. Os bydd y ffrydio byw yn methu, bydd y cyfarfod yn parhau a bydd y recordiad ar gael trwy wefan y cyngor ar ôl i'r cyfarfod ddod i ben. Fe hoffwn i atgoffa aelodau bod gwasanaeth cyfieithu ar gael. Os hoffech chi ddefnyddio'r gwasanaeth yma, dewisiwch yr opsiwn iaith Saesneg ar yr uned meicroffon os ydych chi yn siambr y cyngor, ac os ydych chi'n bresennol o bell, cliciwch ar y tab Audio Settings a dewis English. I'r rheini sy'n dymuno siarad yn y siambr, gwasgwch y botwm Push to Speak ar eich meicroffon sydd wedi ei leoli ar waelod y panel meicroffon. Yn yr un modd, i'r rheini sydd yn bresennol o bell, gwasgwch y tab Push to Speak. Peidiwch a defnyddio'r botwm llaw melyn, dim ond os ydych chi eisiau cyfrannu gyda phwynt o drefn y dylid defnyddio hwn. Mwyn cadw eich lle yn y ciw siarad, pan fyddwch yn gofyn cwestiwn, gadewch eich meicroffon ymlaen nes i chi dderbyn ymateb a gofyn unrhyw gwestiynau atodol. I'r rhai sydd yn bresennol o bell, cofiwch nad oes modd i'r rhai yn y siambr ddefnyddio'r cyfleuster sgwrsio. Os ydy'r rhai sy'n bresennol o bell yn gorfod gadael y cyfarfod dros dro, rhowch neges yn y cyfleuster sgwrsio. Gan symud ymlaen yn awr at yr rhaglen. Eitem 1. Ymddiheuriadau am absenoldeb.
Two apologies for absence from Councillors Yvonne Lloyd and Gronwy Edwards.
Diolch yn fawr iawn. Unrhyw ymddiheuriadau'r llawr? Na, dyna fo, diolch yn fawr. Symud ymlaen at eitem 2, datgan cysylltiad cod ymddygiad Llywodraeth leol. Atgoffir yr aelodau bod rhaid iddynt ddatgan bodolaeth a natur eu cysylltiadau personol. Felly, y cyntaf ydy cynghorydd Joe Nuttall.
Diolch, Chair. I'd like to declare a personal interest in 0/52719, which is the Pabo Nurseries. I know the current owner of the as their ex-client.
Diolch yn fawr iawn. Diolch am hynny. Nesa, y cynghorydd Nia Owen.
Diolch yn fawr iawn, Gadeirydd. Dwi'n datgan cysylltiad efo eitem 6D, cod ydy dim 52711, 29 Heol Dimbych Llanrwst. Fi wedi cadeirydd Pwyllgor Peace About pawb, ac felly mae'r cais yn fenw i. Mae'r cais felly personol ac yn dangos rhagfarn, felly mi fyddai'n gadael cyfarfod.
Diolch yn fawr iawn. Nesa ydy'r cynghorydd Chris Cater.
Diolch yn fawr, Cadeirydd. Pnawn da pawb. This is referring to 5A, the application on the Derwent Lane housing, 0/51939, and I'll just list my interests in it. I'm Vice Chair of the nearby Penrhyn Bay Community Centre, but no opinion has been given on the application by the Management Committee. I have 2 grandchildren attending Ysgol Glanwyddan. My wife is Chair of Governors at Ysgol Glanwyddan. And then I'm also a Conway Local Authority appointed Governor for Ysgol y Creidyn. Now that is a prejudicial interest as there could be a financial contribution to Ysgol y Creidyn. So I will be leaving the chamber. Thank you, Chair.
Diolch yn fawr, cynghorydd Chris Cater. Nesa ydy cynghorydd Stephen Price.
Thank you, Chair. I'll declare an interest, a prejudicial interest in 0/51939, the Derwent Lane one as my auntie. And I live on Derwent Lane and I have submitted objections. And I'd also like to give a personal interest to 0/52719. I do know the applicant, but I don't consider it to be prejudicial because I have no business interest with the applicant.
Dyna fo, diolch yn fawr iawn. Diolch. Nesa, cynghorydd Austin Roberts.
Sorry. That's it. Yes. No.
Na, ffwr eto wan. Gwasgo eto. Yni?
Na fo, iawn, glo fi.
Dan.
Reit, hoffwn i na hefyd datgan barn yn rhif dim stroke 52711, 29 Stryd Heldenbach, Llanrwst. Mi ydw i wedi buddsoddi yn y prosiect hwnnw, felly dwi'n gweld hwnnw yn rhagfanllyd ac felly fydda i yn camu allan o'r siambr.
Diolch yn fawr iawn.
Hefyd, hoffwn i ddatgan barn sydd ddim yn rhagfanllyd ar cais rhif dim stroke 52419 fferm Trofarth. Mi o'n i arfer a gweithio i ewythr y ceisiadydd, ond o hynny dros 20 mlynedd yn ôl, so dwi ddim yn ystyru hynny'n rhagfanllyd, a felly fyddai'n aros a cymryd rhan.
Diolch yn fawr iawn. Ardderchog, y cynghorydd Dave Jones.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to declare a non-prejudicial interest for 0/52719 Garth Road, Llangwstennin, Llandudno Junction. I'm actually one of the members for that ward. Thank you.
Diolch yn fawr. Iawn. Diolch yn fawr. Ia, diolch yn fawr, Paula Jones.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to declare a personal interest, and it's in connection with application references 52720 and 0/52729. This relates to the former sports court, Oak Drive, Colwyn Bay. I know one of the objectors, but it's not a close sort of relationship. We're not in regular contact, and I don't socialise with them, so I don't believe it to be a prejudicial interest. Thank you.
Diolch yn fawr iawn. Dyna ni wedi cael pawb dwi'n meddwl yn dod, os yna neb arall eisiau datgan cysylltiad. Diolch yn fawr am hynny. Eitem 3, materion brys, dydw i ddim yn ymwybodol unrhyw rai. Symud rwan i eitem 4, sef cofnodion y cyfarfod diwethaf ar dudalennau 6 a 8. Gai ofyn am gynigydd a eilydd ac wedyn mi wnawn ni ddangos drwy bleidleisio drwy godi llaw. Cynghorydd Alan Hunter, diolch yn fawr. A cynghorydd Dave Jones yn eilio. Gai ofyn i chi bleidleisio drwy godi llaw, diolch yn fawr iawn. Ac ar lein, os gwelwch yn dda, diolch. Rhywun yn erbyn?
Chair, can I just, there's a correction that I'd like to make. It's on page 6, and as I've just said now in my declarations of interest, my grandchildren go to school at Ysgol Ganwydden. In the minutes it's got that they attend Ysgol y Creuddyn. Very small matter, but if it could be corrected, Chair, thanks.
Dim problem. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Diolch am hynny. Iawn gyfeillion, felly wnawn ni symud rwan i eitem 5, sef ceisiadau gohiriedig o'r cyfarfod Pwyllgor blaenorol. Y rhif y cais ydy dim blaenslais 51939, tir oddi ar Derwen Lane, Bae Penrhyn, Llandudno, caniatad cynllunio llawn ar gyfer codi 152 anheddau newydd ynghyd â man agored cyhoeddus, mynedfeydd ac is-adeiledd angenreidiol a maes parcio. Gai ofyn felly, diolch yn fawr, cynghorydd Chris Cater a Stephen Price i adael. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Mae gennym ni siaradwyr o blaid ac yn erbyn, a mi fyddai'n galw ar y siaradwr cyntaf, sef Mr David Ashworth, i ddod ymlaen, os gwelwch yn dda, ac un hanner ni, fysych chi'n hoffi dod i fan hyn, Mr Ashworth? Dyna ni, a fyddwch chi'n cael 3 munud i siarad, ac mi fydd Jane wedyn yn deud pan mynd 10 eiliad ar 20 i fynd, cyn bod eich amser chi ar ben. Ie, dyna ni, dim problem. Ni, jyst drwy eiliad neu ddwy.
You don't need headphones.
The microphone will turn red and that means
Dyna ni, dwi'n meddwl bod ni ar fin cochwyn, Mr Ashworth, wneud yn siŵr bod technoleg yn ei le, pawb yn hapus. Felly, diolch yn fawr, Mr Ashworth.
Thank you. Pnawn da and good afternoon, Chair and members of the committee. Thank you for the opportunity to address you this afternoon. My name is David Ashworth and I'm speaking on behalf of the local community and raise the following issues about the plans. Loss of agricultural land. The Council do not appear to have confirmed the grading of this land. Grade 3A is classed as the best and most versatile and national policy protects it, but we believe the land may be of an even higher grade and that this needs to be properly established. Building over it undermines the Council's own sustainability goals. Flood risk and drainage. Parts of the site falls within flood zones 2 and 3. The drainage strategy relies on assumptions, not evidence, and the southeastern corner is particularly vulnerable. Are members confident this scheme won't increase flood risk for nearby homes? Ecological impact and incomplete survey work. The ecological appraisal identifies risks to a number of protected species. Several surveys remain incomplete or deferred, with mitigation proposed after approval, which contradicts the precautionary approach expected for ecological protection. Should the development proceed when key evidence is outstanding? Road safety. No full road safety report has been completed. Traffic data amid recent developments, such as the Welsh Immersion Centre, the new gym, a Crathing and a 3G pitch. High pedestrian use, particularly by children, demands a comprehensive expert review. As a former roads policing officer, I am very concerned about the increased risk of accidents. So without a complete and current road safety assessment, can the committee be confident the roads will be safe? Premature approval without safeguards. Approval depends on a Section 106 agreement covering habitat management, affordable housing and mitigation. Granting permission before these are resolved risks irreversible harm. These are not minor details, they're fundamental to the proposal's acceptability. Expired LDP. The Conway LDP has expired and this site is not in the replacement LDP. Any reliance on its previous allocation carries little weight and conflicts with Council's updated strategy. If it's not in the new plan, on what basis can it be approved? Pressure on local infrastructure. How will 152 new homes be supported by our existing infrastructure? Once a developer leaves, the problems stay.
30 seconds.
Fewer GP appointments, oversubscribed schools, more traffic and greater risk for older residents. If local services already struggle, how will they cope with this development? In closing, we urge the committee to refuse or at least defer this application until these issues are resolved. We also contend that a decision of this scale should not be delegated to the Building Control Manager, but remain with the Planning Committee. Diolch yn fawr. Thank you very much.
Diolch yn fawr iawn, Mr Ashworth. Ni'n symud ymlaen rwan at Miss Hayley Knight, sef yr asiant sydd yn siarad o blaid, ac felly nawn ni newid siaradwyr rwan a chael cyfle i Miss Knight ddod ymlaen. A mae'r rhan rheol yn berthnasol 3 munud, ac mi fyddwn ni'n atgoffa chi pan fydd ne 10 eiliad ar 20 ar ôl.
Hi, the mic's on. Okay. Good afternoon, councillors. As set out in your officer's report, this scheme is seeking full planning permission for 152 new homes, open space and a new car park that will be built by the applicant and gifted to the council to reduce on-street parking along Derwin Lane. In the first instance, I want to clarify that this site is allocated for a future residential use in the adopted LDP. It was released as a contingency site to a full allocation in 2019 due to the housing land supply falling below the 5-year requirement. Indeed, your officer states that over the plan period, there's been a 43% shortfall in housing delivery against LDP targets. This scheme will provide a wide variety of houses to meet that unmet need on a site deemed suitable in the local plan. Importantly, the scheme will provide 54 affordable homes delivered in partnership with a local housing association, which meets your housing officer requirements in respect of housing mix and tenure, and will likely provide much needed homes for local homeless families. The applicant is engaged with both the council and local community and has listened carefully to ensure concerns have been addressed, particularly in respect of highway safety and ecological impacts. We've worked with your highways team to design a car park that exceeds the spaces available on Derwin Lane and the lay-by that are currently being used for school pick-up and drop-off. These spaces have been designed to include disabled and parent and child bays, complete with safe footways and clear crossing links to from the car park to both schools, thus providing a much safer arrangement than the current position. This has been assessed and approved by your highways team, who've also assessed and approved the residential scheme. The applicant will deliver this car park to the council prior to the construction of the homes. This is alongside a raft of planning obligation measures, including a sum of over £340,000 for Yscols of Croydon and Glanwithin, libraries, allotments, open space and waste. In addition to this, the applicant has worked with your ecologist and NLW to mitigate any recreational pressure issues on adjacent ecological sites. The works agreed include scrub clearance, fence repairs, signage and new kissing gates, and over £15,000 towards curlew projects on preferable habitat elsewhere in the county. Overall, we've taken the time to understand the key issues and have worked tirelessly with consultees in a responsible and thoughtful manner to put forward a scheme today which is fully policy compliant. The applicant is a North Wales house builder who provides jobs for local people and contractors, and has gone above and beyond to bring forward these much needed homes in Penryn Bay. I therefore respectfully request you approve the scheme today.
Diolch yn fawr, Ms Knight. A trydydd siaradwr rwan, sef y cynghorydd Carol Beard, fe fydd yn siarad fel un o aelodau'r ward lleol, ward y Penryn. A dwi'n siŵr bod y cynghorydd Carol Beard yn gwybod beth ydy'r drefn. A 3 munud yn dechrau. Just press it again. There we are.
It's on, Carol.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Okay, diolch.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. I just, for transparency, just want to let you know that I'm a governor at Ysgol Glanwithin, a secretary of Penryn Bay Community Centre, and also on the Llandudno Town Council, even though I'm not on the planning committee. As a ward member for Penryn Bay, there is a lot of concern about this development and the location of these houses. From the residents of Penryn Bay. To date, there has been over 130 objections. If planning permission is granted today, there are substantial highway improvements that will be required, including that double yellow lines along Derwin Lane are enforced for the safety of the pupils of Ysgol Glanwithin and Ysgol Craven, and pedestrian safety, which is paramount. The new essential car park must be constructed and available to vehicles before the work starts on the development. The car park will need sufficient car parking spaces with the possibility of no overnight parking and no haulage vehicles parking there, as these currently use the lay-by on a regular basis, especially overnight. That the car park is properly maintained and has enough car parking spaces for the parents and guardians of Ysgoglan Within at drop-off and pick-up times. Pupils and pedestrians have to cross this busy road from the car park to get to the Ysgoglan Within, with some of them as young as 2 and 3 years of age. It is important that the raised safety crossing points are in place and pupils and parents are for pupils and parents, and it's clear of cars. There is an important safety concern, and we want Derwin Lane to operate a safe two-way roadway at all times, and ensuring that there is no parking on the double yellow lines at school drop-off and pick-up times. As the committee saw on your site visit, Derwin Lane is so very busy with vehicles, buses, children and pedestrians, all trying to navigate this area safely on a morning and in the afternoon. Ysgol Cygreidden has a high percentage of their pupils who are bussed in. And at times, at school times, as you saw, it's very congested, dangerous and very, very busy. Can you ensure that the houses and the development has sufficient visitor parking spaces for guests, as this will alleviate any additional parking requirements on Derwin Lane and not taking up car parking spaces for the school? Objectives have flagged up the local Penrhyn Bay medical practice is already under pressure with access to doctors at very difficult times. It's disappointing that Betsy Cadwaladr have not offered any, requested any financial contribution to the primary care locally, or not committed to sums or including this. The entire site is agricultural land, and this will be lost to the farm. Regarding Glodaith Woods and the SSI, it would be beneficial if the top half of this development had been removed.
Diolch yn fawr, Cynghorydd Carol Beard.
Okay, thanks.
Diolch yn fawr. Diolch i'r siaradwyr. Dwi am drosglwyddo rwan i'r swyddog cynllunio ac i Liz Wood. Diolch yn fawr.
Thanks, Chair. A number of updates for members. We've got a couple of verbal updates. Mentor Iaith have responded to us and they don't support the application. They've got concerns for it with regard to it. They have requested, that a language travel assessment is undertaken, but we have confirmed with policy that this isn't necessary with it being a allocated contingency site. They have also suggested a number of additional mitigations in addition to what Content Planning have stated. Just a minor correction on paragraph 32, should read 6.6 hectares rather than the 5.06, which is as per the paragraph 2. As we know, the application was deferred at the September 25 Planning Committee meeting, and prior to that meeting, a site visit was carried out. HENEB have now confirmed that the archaeological evaluation report is acceptable in respect to the findings of the trial trenching that was undertaken in accordance with the SSI in August. In respect to Welsh Water, members are advised that there are ongoing discussions with regard to the hydraulic modelling assessment for the foul water. And whilst some of the initial site-specific elements have been completed, others are awaiting completion with a view to agreeing design details by the end of the year. In this regard, we therefore request the same specific implementation condition as per our last response in respect of that being conditioned. And they have verbally advised that there is no issue with regard to the water supply capacity. Finally, Education have confirmed that they will take over management maintenance of the car park once it has been constructed, and the recommendation is as per the original report. Thank you.
Diolch yn fawr, Liz Wood. Dyna ni gyfeillion, nhw'n ni agor o i'r llawr ac i chi yr aelodau i drafod a rhoid eich barn. Y cyntaf ydy Cynghorydd Austin Roberts.
Diolch yn fawr, Mr Cadeirydd. Neu aros i bobl wedi Cristia, na. Crisfonau, ia, na fo, ia. Ia, unwaith eto, dyma ni gais dadleuol, ddydwn ni, yn wedi yn y lleoliad lle mae o. Unwaith eto, dadleuol yn y nifer o dai sy'n mynd i gael ei adeiladu. Fel dwi'n dallt, fi na mond chydig dros hanner cant yn dai fforddiadwy. A fel y gwyddom beth ni wirioneddol angen yn y sir yma di tai i bobl leol. Ac dwi'n rhagweld fydd nifer o'r tai yma allan o bris fforddiadwy bobl leol. Ac fe hynny'n golygu fydd na fwy o bobl o'r tu allan yn dod yma i fyw. Fe hynny wedyn yn golygu fydd na bwysau ar yn ysgolion ni. Mi fydd na bwysau yn fwy pwysig fydd ar yn ysbytau ni ac ar meddygfeydd lleol. Mae gennau gwestiwn sy'n ni'n hoffi ofyn i'r swyddog ydy, mi nath y siaradwr cyntaf crybwyll nad o'na ddim asesiad diogelwch ffyrdd wedi cael ei wneud. Gai ofyn i'r swyddog, ydy hynny'n rhywbeth sydd yn ofynol? Ac ydy hynny'n rhywbeth efallai ddylsan ni ystyru? Diolch yn fawr.
Liz Wood, eisiau ateb hwnna, sgwylwch yn dda, diolch.
Yeah, as you might have seen, there's, there are a number of traffic assessments that have been carried out and been assessed by ourselves and also the highways officer. In with regard to the specific content of that, it may be something that Paul would be able to answer specifically in that regard, but there has been a lot of work done in respect of the traffic assessments and predicted number of vehicles in that vicinity. With regard to it, if that's something you specifically are requesting. My understanding is that everything's been done in accordance with what the highways team are happy with, and the only outstanding matter are the points raised in the report with regard to finalising the waste collection points, but perhaps Paul's in a better position to answer your question. Thank you.
Oes modd felly gofyn i Paul?
Dyna ni, os ydy Paul ar gael. Paul. Ddim yn ymddangos ar hyn o bryd, wrach fedwn ni drio cygafel yn Paul, wrach. Paula, can we...
Oops. Sorry, thank you, Chair. In the absence of the highway officer, and following on from what Liz Wood has said, we believe that the applicant has done all they can in terms of submitting the relevant documents and that highways have not raised any objections.
Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch, Cynghorydd Austin. Nesa ydy'r Cynghorydd David Carr. Diolch yn fawr.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Yeah, I'm always a bit worried when we're building on greenfield sites, and we should be building on brownfield sites, and we have all the empty homes in the county. So I'm certainly aware that we do have a crisis of homelessness, and we do need more homes. But I've got real sort of concerns about this in the development, and as mentioned, the infrastructure. And I know from my ward that the GP services are just not adequate, and the health board don't seem to be making any reasonable sort of moves towards increasing capacity. So, and then on the roads, there's an awful lot of people going to school in that area. So, on a number of things, I would like to defer this. And as I said, because we need to look at the local infrastructure, and as I said, particularly for the GP service, because I know that it's a similar situation to my ward in Penryn Bay, where we just haven't got adequate GP services. And there'll be 150 new homes, and they'll all be families wanting to use the GP services. And I think we need to sort of look at that infrastructure. So I'm minded to sort of defer it rather than to say no, rather than minded to defer it. They're my thoughts. Thank you.
I fod yn glir, ydych chi'n cynnig bod ni'n gohirio? Neu...
Yeah, Chair. I'm proposing we defer it because I think we need to get the infrastructure right. We need to have more talks with the health board. I think the infrastructure is not there. There are other problems as well that need to be sorted out in the meantime about the highways, really, and road safety with the schools and the number of people using the roads around there. But the main thing really is about the GPs and the other sort of essential services that need to be provided. So yeah, so. I'm not really sort of to defer this. I could ask Paula for advice. Can I ask to defer this on the grounds of the infrastructure? To look at, Paula could sort of, would there be sufficient grounds for me to sort of actually propose that?
Diolch yn fawr. Paula Jones.
Thank you. I'm just going to come on with some other points and then I'll come back to your questions.
Okay.
Turning back to highways, unfortunately, our highway office is having some technical difficulties at the moment, but he has a message to say that highways have no objections and road safety has been looked at and the highway authority is satisfied. Should the car park be provided before the residential development is brought into use, that they do not have any objections to that. I think that's set out in the planning committee report as well. And just turning then to your comments, just to remind you that this is a contingency site in the local development plan, so it's already allocated for 175 houses. Matters such as access to health facilities, highways, the density of development, that they're matters that would have all been considered through the local development plan process when this site was adopted. Now, turning to Betsy Cadwallader, they haven't raised any objections, but they have said that for additional patients, they will be getting additional funding from Welsh Government. And that's one of the reasons why they're not seeking any further financial contributions as part of this development. And then I would probably turn to the relevant paragraph in the planning committee report. I'm just trying to find it now, won't be a minute. Is the health, I'm looking for the health section in the conclusions. Sorry, please bear with me. Right, so from paragraph 51 onwards, there is reference there to health. And it talks about the need for financial contributions, and contributions could only be required if it's to improve the physical capacity of health facilities. And we put that objectors have raised concerns in respect to the impact on local services, in particular access to doctors. However, Betsy Cadwallader have only made some recommendations to enhance the proposal in respect of health. They have not requested any financial contributions towards those services. Also, planning policy have stated that no section 106 contributions are required. Responses from Betsy Cadwallader indicate that they do not have the evidence to support such a contribution. Without this, it cannot be demonstrated that financial contributions towards health meet the SIL tests. As such, no commuted sums are sought in this regard. So turning back to your request for deferral, in all honesty, I don't see that there is a need to defer based on the information you have to hand.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. I will take your advice, but as I said, it doesn't inspire confidence, Betsy Cadwallader, because we're all finding, and in this ward, it's similar to my ward, where we're just not able to deliver the GP appointments, and it is a real problem, and whatever way we look at it, you know, so I'm happy not to go ahead with that, but, you know, as I said, it is a real issue, as I see, when we're building 150 new houses and the people who live in the area can't get GP appointments at the moment, then you know, whatever blurb we get from Betsy Cadwallader, they're not delivering, are they? And I think we and that's the reason I wanted to say they need to deliver the health services that we're paying for. Thank you.
Diolch yn fawr. Nesa I siarad ydy cynghorydd Joe Nuttall. Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch, Chair. Again, mine are, excuse me, highways questions. I know the area very, very well. Derwent Lane is a tractor lane. It can be dangerous. There is a passing point halfway up, but essentially it is tractor lane up to the farm at the top. Is there any are there any plans to widen Derwent Lane? Obviously, it butts onto the site. And also, are there any thoughts of having a roundabout on the main road? On the main road, on, is it Glodwth Lane or Llanrose Road, going into the site? Thank you.
Diolch yn fawr. Dwi'n meddwl fedra i ateb hynny hyd yn oed o'r ymweliad safle na fydd ddim defnydd o gwbl i'r lôn sydd yn mynd fyny i'r ffarm ac i ochr y penryn. Dwi'n iawn dydw, Liz Wood, mae'r lôn sydd yn mynd fyny, lôn ffordd ydy i penryn said fydd honno'n cael ei ddefnyddio o gwbl na fydd.
No, it's not proposed to be used at all as part of the development. I appreciate what you're saying with it being a single track road up there, but there won't be any vehicular access from the development into that. There will be pedestrian access through the hedge as shown on the plans. Thank you.
Diolch. Ond oedd ne ail rannu'r cwestiwn, ond oedd ydy Paul Smith efo ni erbyn hyn?
We're trying to get Paul, but at this moment in time, no, Chair.
Okay. What, Paula?
Chair, sorry, just in the meantime, I'm not aware that there are any plans to do that. It has been fully assessed by Highways. I know there have been talks with regard to streetworks and the elements that required certain consents, predominantly with regard to the proposed car park, but obviously the access points that will be onto the roadway, and the proposed separate consents that they would need with them. So I know that those conversations have taken place, and that isn't something that has taken place to my knowledge.
Diolch. Hynny'n glir, Cynghorydd John Nuttall.
Thank you. That worries me that there's obviously going to be pedestrians walking on a single track lane with tractors. Yeah, that does worry me because it's a narrow road, that one.
Can I just come back on that? With regard to people walking on that road, the developer has proposed to have a pedestrian access further up to enable users to access the public footpaths, etc. from that point. So there is an access point going proposed through the hedgerow for pedestrians, not for vehicles. So.
Gai jyst i fod yn glir, lle bod yna unrhyw amryfusedd a galw am luniau, achos yn lle bod ni'n cymylu, dwi'n meddwl bod yna chydig bach o anaglurder o ran y ffordd sydd yn cael ei defnyddio yn fan hyn, yr un single track ar ffordd dwy lôn sydd yn mynd i'r ysgol, arwain i'r ysgol ac i'r stad. Wedyn dwi am ofyn os gown ni luniau i fod yn hollol glir, yn lle bod ni'n sôn am single track ar y naill law, a y ffordd ddwy lôn sydd yn mynd ar hyd. Ia, da ni'n mynd i gael lluniau rwan o'r safle. Ia, diolch yn fawr iawn. Wneith Liz Wood y swyddog egluro rwan yn y lluniau beth sy'n digwydd.
This is towards the top of the lane with the area that you can see on the right hand side is the access where it goes just up towards the farm, and we're looking down towards Ysgol y Creuddyn, so the junction there where it comes into Glodaith View and then carries on as Derwyn Lane along past the school. So this is the top end of that section.
Ac i fod yn glir, fydd yr ffordd hon ddim yn cael defnyddio na fydd, fel rhan o'r datblygiad.
No, it's not proposed. As I say, there would be pedestrian access only.
Na ni.
Diolch.
Dim ond i fod yn glir o ran eglurder. Diolch yn fawr. Cynghorydd Joe, Nutsel, ydych chi eisiau dod yn ôl?
So, am I right in thinking then that the pedestrian access, obviously that means there will be pedestrians walking on that narrow road?
You need to get this out. So I'm just sorting out which slide it is for Julia, so she can switch to that. Bear with me. Slide 2. It's like slide 2. Right layer. Sorry. It's... So if you look at the final row of the houses on the far side, sorry, on the left-hand side as you're looking at the plan, on the narrow single-track road, you can actually see that there is a gap in the hedge towards the top of the single-track road. Can you see the gap in? Sorry, can you see the gap in the hedge there? That's where the proposed pedestrian access would be. So it would be towards the upper end of the single track road.
Okay.
So I repeat my question that there will be people walking on the single track road to get to the gap in the hedge to go onto the estate.
For a short section, yeah.
Yeah,
This has been discussed and looked at.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Sorry, it has been looked at and discussed in detail with the highways team as well with regard to that.
Yeah, okay. I stick to my worry. It's worrying that they're using the same road for people walking and tractors. You saw from the picture that was up, the hedges haven't been cut. So yeah, thank you. That's just my point.
Okay, diolch yn fawr Cynghorydd Joe Nuttall. Nesaf I siarad ydy Cynghorydd Alan Hunter.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. Just a quick question from that, really. Why do we need that gap in the hedge? Why do we need that pedestrian access? I can understand Joe's concerns. People going towards the school or coming out of that estate can go out through the road that's through the estate.
If you don't have that access point higher up the lane, they'll then be using the entire length of it. And it's to ensure that they've got access into the recreation areas further up the public footpaths, etc. If you don't provide it, they're going to want to walk up the entire length of it. So to provide it at that point reduces the risk, not increases it.
Okay, that's just one more thing if I can come back in. Councillor Carroll mentioned about the car park and it being used by HGV vehicles. Is it going to be somewhere where the buses will drop off or they carry on dropping off in a normal place in school?
The intention is for cars only. It's not for the buses to be using.
Okay.
It's supposed to be, the idea of the car park is to, the cars that are currently parking, as we saw on the site visit last month, on that corner, and obviously double parking in some respects, they would be displaced by the proposed double lines. So they would then park in the car park, because it then alleviates that issue, because at the moment it's a single track road, isn't it, essentially along there, especially at rush hour time in terms of the school rush hour. So by removing them from that and providing more spaces, I think if I remember rightly, Paul said it was 12 or 13 spaces extra in addition to what there already is available on the road itself. It's a betterment, and as stated by Highways on ourselves, we would recommend that that is done if you support the scheme before anything starts, any work starts on the residential development. And Highways have specifically said that if that weren't to take place, they would object to the scheme. So it is necessary that it is done in that order, and that is something that the developer is aware of as well.
Okay, I'm happy about that. Can I ask that if that's the case and it's not going to be used by buses, that we condition a height barrier on that car park? Because it would leave it open to people parking heavy goods vehicles in there, but my other concern would be illegal encampments setting up on the car park. So I'd like to see that conditioned, that there's a height barrier to that car park as well.
Swyddogion yn hapus i wneud hynny, i roed yr amod yna i mewn?
We'd have to discuss that both with education and the highways team as well, whether that is something that could be done, because at the moment the plans don't show a height barrier restriction. So, but there is the potential it could be conditioned if it's deemed necessary.
I would, I'd be happy to go with the officer's recommendation, but I would insist on having that conditioning for a height barrier. It just leaves the place open to possible problems in the future.
Okay, diolch yn fawr. Mae gennym ni gynigydd. Felly, cynghorydd Alan Hunter, dwi am ddod â Paul Smith i mewn rwan. Dwi'n gwybod bod cynghorydd Samantha Cotton yn disgwyl, ond mae Paul Smith yn ôl efo ni ar-lein, ac wrach yn barod i ateb rhai o'r cwestiynau sydd i bod. Paul, can you hear us? No, there's gremlins in the system. Iawn. Felly, gai ddod...
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah. Fire away.
My apologies. So I've been on the phone with IT for the last couple of minutes, so I've missed some of the questions asked by members. If members would like to rephrase the questions, I'll do my best to answer.
Cynghorydd Joe, dwi'n meddwl, oedd ar un cwestiynau ynglyn â cerddwyr, ie? Cynghorydd Joe, da chi eisiau dod yn ôl? Cynghorydd Joe Nuttall. Da chi ar mute. Yna ni? Yna ni?
Is that better?
Indeed.
Diolch. My question was regarding the pedestrian access through to the single track of Derwin Lane. It worries me greatly that we're going to mix people and potentially tractors and vehicles on a lane that really is single track with high hedges that are uncut for most of the year. And also the roundabout, a potential roundabout on the main road at the entrance to the estate. Thank you.
Okay, so firstly, the pedestrian route onto Derwin Lane, I assume you're referring to that, the single track section of road?
Yeah.
So, in the future, it is intended that that route will not come out onto Derwin Lane. It will run through the private land and go to almost the farm entrance. This is almost like a measure until that part of the scheme is finalised, designed and have agreement. We're not in that situation yet, so we can't proceed with that section. However, we know there will be lots of movement between the estate up there and the pubs and the amenities and the new development. So at present, if the development was built without that connection, people would be forced in the opposite direction walking towards the school to be on that single track lane for its entirety. At least this gets them off that lane at the earliest opportunity and provides more vulnerable users with a route through the estate. So it's not how we envisage it being eventually when it's fully completed, but it's as much as we can provide and construct as part of this scheme right now.
Iawn, felly, diolch yn fawr. Cynghorydd Jones eto, ia, yn hapus efo'r ateb yna. Da chi ar mute.
There we go. Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, sufficient for now. On the roundabout at the bottom.
I have not reviewed a proposal for a roundabout at the bottom. The applicant provides the design and we review it as a highway authority. So we have not been presented with a roundabout to review by the applicant. However, we feel that the T-junction, should the TRO, double yellow lines, and the car park be provided, would be sufficient to allow two-way access to the new access road. But we have not been presented with a roundabout option by the agent to review and investigate.
Diolch yn fawr. Dwi'n ymwybodol rwan bod yna siaradwyr, a dwi hefyd yn ymwybodol bod yna gynnig wedi wneud gen y cynghorydd Alan Hunter, felly gai ofyn o'r cynnigwyr, cynghorydd Austin Roberts ydy'r cyntaf fan hyn i eilio'r cynnig. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Cynghorydd Kay yn mynd i eilio hefyd yn eisiau siarad.
I would like to speak. I was going to second as well. Thank you.
That's fine.
I do understand people's reservations on this, but I don't think we can turn away 54 affordable houses given the crisis that we have at the moment. I also don't think we've got any valid reason to go against officers' recommendations on this. If we did, it would be liable for a call-in. So again, if I had the opportunity, I would be seconding Councillor Allen here. Thank you.
Diolch yn fawr. Cynghorydd Sam Cotton. Diolch yn fawr. Ar mute, Cynghorydd Sam.
Really not.
Na ni, diolch yn fawr.
No, is it?
Yep.
Can you hear me now?
Indeed.
Oh, I don't know what I did. Okay. I just wanted to clarify 2 points really regarding parking areas. The car park outside of the school, the car park that's proposed, and is going to be maintained at the expense of the education department. I understand that that's going to be an overflow car park for the school to alleviate people accessing the school currently parking on the road. Is it also going to be a visitor parking space or a short stay parking area for people using that area? Because obviously that I've got concerns about the education department maintaining a public what could be considered a public car park. And the second point, looking at the plan, I can see a number of turning areas, hammerheads, I think they're called, so that the recycling lorries can turn round and other vehicles can turn round. Are those going to be prevented from being visitor parking spaces and just purely turning areas? Because I can't see any visitor parking areas on the plan as it stands. Thank you.
Liz Wood, diolch.
Diolch, Chair. With regard to your first question, whilst it be taken on by education and at that expense, I'm not aware that they're proposing to have any gates or anything like that to prevent other people utilising it at the times. There is obviously the lay-by that is there at the moment. There are 4 spaces, if I remember lately, that are proposed to be in that area too. But from my understanding of what they have told us, they wouldn't have anybody keeping an eye on who's parking there. So, but they may have other plans that we're not aware of it to date. But that's the latest I've been given. In terms of the turning heads and hammerheads, you've probably seen that they've provided threat path analysis section in regard to the turning areas and the internal. If you look at the plans, the hatched areas would be private driveways and access roads. They wouldn't be adopted by the local authority. The roads that are white, essentially on the internal access roads, they would be adopted by the local authority. So I will turn to Paul to answer the query about that, but I would imagine that it'd be potential that they could have WLL lines if necessary in those areas. But I know that's something that Paul would be involved in and add as well, because he deals with the adoption side of things.
Paul, are you still there?
I'm still there if the committee can hear me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the areas that do not meet Conwy Council's adoption standards will remain private. The turning head areas that are within Conway's adopted highway can be protected with a traffic regulation order should we choose to. I think there was also a question about the car park. I can't recall precisely what that question was, so if that could be repeated, I will hopefully address it.
Cynghorydd Sam Cotton.
Yes, well, I asked at the a public car park, what appears to be a public car park being maintained at the expense of the Education Authority, that appears to be an overflow car park or pick up drop off children area for the school. I just had concerns about the crossover point, and the other point with regard to the actual estate proposals are visitor parking, because all of these houses, everybody has two cars these days, more often than not, and I appreciate there will be driveways for the houses, but people get visitors as well, and estates get clogged up very easily with traffic. I just wondered if there were additional measures or any measures on the plan that I haven't spotted for visitor parking.
Okay, so firstly, the car park will be brand new and built to modern standards. It should not require maintaining in the foreseeable future from education, because it will be brand new and in pristine condition. And obviously there'll be a handover period where any damage caused in that period will also be rectified back to A1 standards. The nuances of the car park and who does what, to be honest, I'm not aware that they've been finalised yet. I'm not anticipating any issues or problems with it, but a lot of those conversations have yet to be had, and your requests can happily be incorporated into it, I would suspect at this moment. I think Councillor Alan Hunter mentioned a height barrier as well. That would be for education to determine, but initially we would not have any problems, but I would make you aware that I believe there's a substation there, so any height barrier would have to allow access for the maintenance vehicle, which should just be the size of a regular van, which normal families would also often own. With regards to the visitor parking, they meet the minimum requirements for visitor parking for the estates. The areas where parking will be more tight will be the private areas that are not adopted by Conway Council, but we do not anticipate overspill parking onto the adopted highway. I'm very, very strong in the fact that I don't want roads to be used for anything other really than driving and movement of people and vehicles. I don't want them to become a place where people can park their third car. That causes us all sorts of problems with waste collection, for example. So I can confirm to you that they have met the minimum requirements to meet parking in that area.
Thank you.
Diolch yn fawr. Mae gennym ni gynigydd a mae gennym ni eilydd. Os unrhyw gynigydd arall? Nag oes. Felly, mi wnawn ni gymryd y pleidlais y cynghorydd Alan Hunter yn fan hyn yn cynnig o blaid, a'r cynghorydd Austin Roberts yn eilio'r cynnig. Gyda'r amod, gawn ni rhyw chydig cyn yn mynd i'r bleidlais, jyst rhyw chydig o eglurder ynglyn â'r amod a fonwyd gan cynghorydd Alan Hunter. Os e bosib cynnwys hwn yn y cais? Sef yr height restriction.
If it's something that members consider is necessary, it could be conditioned. As Paul said, you need to ensure that there's still adequate access for the maintenance vehicles to the substation, which I think is outlined very clearly. I think the only thing you need to be a little bit careful about is that education may prefer not to have the height barrier if they're going to utilise it potentially for, I appreciate it's predominantly for cars and similar sized vehicles, but if they're going to potentially use it at other times outside the school drop off and pick up for other vehicles, they may not be able to utilise it, and then it might be a case of restricting how they can use it as well. So it's just something to consider.
Cyn cynghorydd Alan Hunter, gai ddod â Paula Jones I mewn, swch yn dda.
Diolch. I just want to add, in terms of the car park provision, there's a requirement in the recommendation for the applicant to enter into a section 106 legal agreement and to provide a number of things there. And one of the points there is regarding the provision of the car park. So that will set out the terms of the handover and other elements we could consider, including the barrier in those discussions, because that will involve the applicant, education and a variety of other highways as well in those discussions. So that could be something that could be considered at a later stage through the 106 process.
Cynghorydd Alan Hunter.
All the height barriers that I've seen and used before, they have keys. So the school can have a key. They're hinged. They have protected padlocks on them, and any contractors going in there would have a key at their depot. We have height barriers where I am in Abergele, and the council have to open them to empty bins, so they have a key. So I would not suggest for a minute it's a fixed barrier. It needs to have access for as and when it's needed, but I'm fairly adamant that we need to have a height barrier there, because I've seen the problems car parks can have. I'm only too well aware of it in our own area.
Dyna ni, dwi am ddod ar cynghorydd Andrew o di mewn, os gwelwch yn dda.
Thank you, Chair. I'm just going to confirm, because of in our world we've had lots of problems. So to protect the council and protect the public and so on and so forth, I would condition a height barrier, the normal height barrier, which is open and closable. Thank you.
Gawn ni wneud yn siŵr felly, swyddogion, bod hynny'n digwydd i'r eithaf eich gallu, ie? So can we ensure that as a condition? Yep, dyna ni. Diolch yn fawr. Reit, does e ddim mwy o siaradwyr hyd y gwela I. Mae gennym ni gynigydd, mae gennym ni eilydd gydag amod fel dyn ni wedi clywed bod ni'n cael yr height barrier y fanne. Dwi am ofyn felly i'r swyddog I agor y bleidlais, a gnewch chi glicio ar y dewis a ffefrir o blaid yn erbyn neu ymatal, a be rhwyddyn sy'ch chi newid eich bleidlais hyd nes bod yr bleidlais wedi cael. Wedyn gawn ni agor y bleidlais. Diolch yn fawr. Pawb wedi pleidleisio? Felly, nawn ni gael bleidlais. Diolch yn fawr. Felly 9 o blaid, 2 yn erbyn a 2 wedi ymatal. Dyna ni, da chi'n gweld y bleidlais yma. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Mi wnawn ni symud ymlaen rwan i'r cais nesaf, sef 0 blaen slais 5249, sef newid, wrach na i aros am eiliad i'r cyfeillion i adael cyn symud ymlaen. Os ydych chi'n hoffi wneud hynny'n eitha cyflym i ni gael symud ymlaen. Diolch yn fawr. Thank you. Diolch yn fawr. Yeah. Cynghorydd Mandy yn ôl. Okay. There we are. Iawn gyfeillion, felly y cais nesaf 0 blaen slais 5249, newid anedd-du a dymchwel anedd ar y fferm ffridd uchaf i Fawnog Fawr Trofarth Betws yn Rhos Abergele. Cafodd y penderfyniad yma, sgofiwch chi, i ohirio yn yr cyfarfod yn yr Pwyllgor y mis Mehefin 2025 mwyn cael adroddiad gyda'r coed a'r cynllun coedio, ac felly mae o'n ôl yma rwan i ni drafod. Ac felly y swyddog sydd yn edrych ar ôl hwn ydy Paula Jones. Diolch, Paula.
Thank you. Members will remember that the application was reported to the June Planning Committee meeting, and this followed a site inspection as well. Now, the officer recommendation at that time was minded to refuse the application because we had concerns about the visual impact of the proposed development, because it was sited away from the main farmstead and it was in close proximity to a number of trees. Members resolved to defer the application to enable a tree report and landscaping scheme to be provided. This has been provided and the results of that are provided in the Planning Committee report. Other than that, no further update.
Diolch yn fawr, Paula Jones. Iawn, gyfeillion, na i agor i'r llawr i ni gael i drafod o. Diolch. A byd tawelwch. Felly, cynta ydy y cynghorydd Andrew Wood. Diolch yn fawr.
Thank you, Chair. Why are officers recommending refusal?
Felly mae hynny'n sefyll, sef bod yr swyddogion yn gwrthod y cais. Dyna di'r o safbwynt y swyddogion, ia?
Eisiau gwybod pam mae o.
Dwi'n gweld. Paula, diolch.
Dwi'n gwybod. It's in the report.
The reason why, the reason why we're looking at refusing the application is because we have concerns about the visual impact, and whilst the additional information has been provided, it doesn't overcome our concerns. The development itself is on greenfield land, and it is a visible form of development as well, and it is sited in a special landscape area.
Diolch yn fawr. Y nesaf i siarad rwan ydy cynghorydd Austin Roberts.
Iawn, diolch yn fawr. Ia, mae hwn yn un anodd. Yn enwedig yn anodd i mi, cos mae'n digwydd bod yn ymword i. Dwi'n dallt y rhesymau pam mae o'n cael ei wrthod, ond dwi hefyd yn dallt y rhesymau pam bod yr ceisiadydd angen tŷ newydd. Dwi yn derbyn bod mae o'n biti garw bod y ceisiadydd wedi penderfynu bod o eisiau adeiladu'r tŷ ar y safle mae o wedi ddewis, oherwydd fasa synwyr cyffredin efallai yn dweud bod o'n adeiladu'r tŷ ar safle y tŷ presennol neu yn nes at y tŷ presennol. Ond y prif reswm am hwn i bod o wedi dewis hynny ydi a mi fuon ni ar ymweliad safle. A'r prif reswm am hwn i fasa oherwydd yr olygfa oedd i'w gael. A dwi'n dallt bod efallai yn ôl yr rheola bod yna efallai visual impact. Ond doedd na ddim tai yn ymyl. A iddo cael unrhyw fath o impact fasa rhaid i'r person lle oedd o'n impact arno fo fod yn sbiad arno fo a fo binoculars. Felly, dwi'n teimlo mi fasa ni medru mynd yn erbyn argymhelliad y swyddogion, ond hoffwn ni glywed barn rhai o'r cynghorwyr eraill cyn mi wneud unrhyw fath o gynnig. Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch yn fawr, Cynghorydd Austin Robertson. Nesaf I siarad ydy Cynghorydd Chris Cater. Diolch yn fawr.
Yeah, thank you. I apologise. I didn't go to I wasn't able to go on the site visit. However, I would be inclined to support the officer's recommendation because the policies against a isolated dwelling house in the countryside, in isolation like this, the policies are against it. And I would very much like to prevent us causing a precedent where there was free range to build additional isolated dwelling houses in the rural areas. So I would propose that we go with the officer's recommendation for refusal. It is a designated special landscape area, which also is contrary to policy. So I would propose that we refuse this application according to the officer recommendation. Thank you, Chair.
Diolch yn fawr, Cynghorydd Chris Cater. Dwi'n edrych am eilydd yn gynta dwi'n ymwybodol bod y Cynghorydd Gwennol Ellis, ond da chi ddim yn eilio Cynghorydd Chris Cater? Na, dwi'n edrych gynta, felly mae Cynghorydd Stephen Price, can you just show on your mic?
Does it work? Okay, yeah, I'm happy to second Councillor Chris Cater's proposal.
Dyna ni, mae gennym ni gynigydd ag eilydd yn fan hyn. Os e unrhyw gynnig arall o gwbl? Dim gynnig arall nag oes? A neb arall eisiau siarad erbyn hyn?
Sorry, Cmion eisiau siarad.
Cyn hynny, mae Cynghorydd Sam Cotton wedi dod o'ch blaen chi ac wedyn fe gawn ni Cynghorydd Sam Cotton gyntaf a wedyn Cynghorydd Gwennol Ellis. Diolch. Cynghorydd Sam.
Thank you, Chair. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay, good. I wanted to ask the officer if, probably answering my own question, but if there were no house there in its current location, or if there were just an abandoned rural agricultural building, would any sort of dwelling be allowed there now? I've got a lot of sympathy with what Councillor Austin is saying, and there is already a house in that location, and the siting of it is just being moved to an adjacent field. I wasn't on the site visit because I wasn't a member of the committee at that stage. So I'm just looking at the paperwork here and what I see on Google Maps. So I just wanted some clarification around that, really.
Okay, Paula.
I would say if this proposal related to a new dwelling within the existing farmstead, then that probably would be acceptable. But because this application proposes development on greenfield land, it's sort of moving the dwelling to outside of the farmstead in a more prominent area. That's where our concern lies.
Okay, thank you.
Diolch yn fawr. Cynghorydd Gwennol Ellis.
Diolch fawr. Do fe sy'n ar yr weliau safle ym mis Mehefin, a lle i weld pam bod yr cais yn cael ei wneud i godi'r tŷ yn y cae lle mae, cos mae yna olygfa fendigedig o'r cae yna. Ffarm sydd yma, a'r tŷ yn ymyl y ffarm, mae'n siŵr gynnau i petai'r tŷ presennol yn cael ei daro i lawr a bod y shed fawr yn cael ei chodi ar safle'r tŷ, mi fysa wedyn y tŷ yn cael ei godi yn y cae oherwydd mi fysa fo nagos at y shed. Felly dwi yn ymwybodol chi'n bod o geisiadau eraill lle mae yna bobl wedi codi shed yn gyntaf yng nghefn gwlad a wedyn wedi cael codi tŷ yn ymyl y shed. Mae'n teimlo'n anheg braidd bod yr cais yma'n cael ei wrthod oherwydd da ni wedi bod ar amryw o ymweliadau safle i fyny'r allt o coed pella fan hyn. A mae yna bobl yn cael codi pob math o dai man o, ac maen nhw'n cael golygfa fendigedig o'r môr. Ac eto pan mae rhywun eisiau codi tŷ yng nghefn gwlad i gael golygfa fendigedig, dy ddim yn cael ei ffafrio. Dwi jyst yn teimlo, mae'r tŷ ma'n agos i'r ffarm. Nid tŷ ar ben ei hun yn ganol wlad ydy, ond mae'n ffarm yn barod. Felly dwi'n teimlo, tro dwythaf yn yma, mi oedden ni'n agos iawn i fynd yn erbyn argymellion yr swyddogion. A mi gafodd hynny i droi oherwydd bod eisiau gwneud archwiliad ar y coed. Rwan mae'r archwiliad ar y coed wedi cael ei wneud ac wedyn ni'n canfod nad oes ddim problem i ddeud gwir efo'r coed. Felly rwan, da ni'n ffeindio rhyw reswm arall dros wrthod. Sydd, dwi'n yn siŵr ydy o'n deg. Ond fyswn ni yn bodlon cynnig bod ni yn mynd yn erbyn argymhelliad y swyddogion.
Felly mae gennym ni gynnig yn fan hyn bod ni'n mynd yn erbyn argymhelliad y swyddogion. Mi ddoi nôl yn y munud o ran rhesymau cynllunio penodol os e rwy'n yn fodlon eilio yr cynnig bod ni'n mynd yn erbyn argymhelliad. Cynghorydd Nia Owen. Felly, yn ôl y drefn, mi wnawn ni gymryd yn gyntaf cynnig cynghorydd Chris Cater, ac os ydy hwnnw'n disgyn, mi fyddwn ni wedyn yn cymryd cynnig y cynghorydd Ellis. Ia, da ni'n hapus felly? Ia. Wedyn mi wnawn ni ddechrau gyda cynnig y cynghorydd Chris Cater, gafodd ei eilio gan y cynghorydd Stephen Price, sef bod ni'n mynd efo argymhelliad y swyddogion i wrthod y cais. Dyna'r bleidlais gyntaf. Felly gai ofyn i'r swyddog agor y bleidlais ac yn yr un modd eich bod chi yn pleidleisio o blaid, yn erbyn neu ymatal. Cofiwch bod chi'n mynd o blaid sef gwrthod y cais, ynde. Diolch yn fawr. Os wnaeth y swyddog agor y bleidlais. Pawb wedi pleidleisio? Felly wnawn ni gael bleidlais. Mae yna 7 o blaid, 5 yn erbyn a 2 yn ymatal. Felly mae'r bleidlais wedi chario cynnig y cynghorydd Chris Cater. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Felly, mi wnawn ni symud ymlaen. Ac yn symud ymlaen wan i'r cais nesaf, sef rhif y cais dim blaenslais 52719, planhigfa Pabo Nurseries, Ffordd Garth Llangwstennin, Cyffordd Llandudno. Cynghorydd Joe Nuttall yn gadael i'r cais yma.
No, mine was only a personal, not prejudicial.
Dyna ni, iawn, felly, gwch chi aros i mewn. Iawn, a dyma yr cais, newid defnydd 2 adeilad presennol o shed storio, saer maen a gweithdy atgyweirio hen bethau i uned, hunan storio ag addasiadau allanol. Mae gennym ni un siaradwr, Mr Nicholas Davies yn siarad o blaid, ag felly mi wnawn ni gael Mr Davies, os ydy Mr Davies yma, diolch yn fawr, a faswch chi'n hoffi dod ymlaen. Yr un ydy'r rheol, 3 munud, ac pan fydd yna 10 eiliad ar hugain i fynd, mae gewch chi. Do you like to come to the one on the end? Ia, gret, diolch yn fawr. Dyna ni.
Diolch yn fawr.
Pam da chi'n barod?
Good afternoon, Chairman and committee members. I felt it was important to come in person to explain my application. I've lived at Parban Nursery since 1996. Prior to that, I was from a Ruthin farming community. I've developed my landscaping business and work on prestigious projects like Carnarvon Castle, Bodney Gardens, and I'm an approved contractor for the National Trust. I've won the RHS bronze and gold medals at Tatton Park for my show gardens. After working for over 50 years, I'm now looking to reduce my workload. I want my daughter to take on the family business once she has completed her business degree. But to do this, we need to restore the glasshouses. As a family, we have always been self-sufficient, and we can raise the money required by converting 2 redundant buildings into modest storage units. The income will enable us to fund the improvement to the nurseries. As the committee will know, in 2021, I was granted permission for a workshop to enable my friend Ray Dyche to restore classic cars as his hobby. Ray is now retired and this building is empty and unused, along with other storage buildings that is no longer required. I'm sure the committee may remember the objections from my neighbours when I applied for this workshop. These were extremely unpleasant and claimed it would cause contamination, noise, flooding, disturbance, kill wildlife, and all manner of negative impacts. The workshop was approved. Yet following the granted permission 4 years ago, the council have received absolutely no complaints about any of these issues because I am a conscientious landowner. I would never do anything that would cause harm. I'm pleased that the officers support this application, but I'm mindful this is having to be determined by committee due to the same neighbours' objections as before. I've listened to all their concerns and considered them carefully. This application has been scrutinised by the councillors' planning officers. I've worked with the councillors' ecologists to fit the new bat nest, etc., and demonstrate there is no harm to wildlife. I'm saddened by the allegations of the content of these
30 seconds
objections,
left.
including a letter from a Manchester-based planning consultant who has never had the courtesy to visit my land to see for herself. I respectfully ask members to support the officer's recommendation and approve the application to help me give my family business a sustainable future. Thank you for your time. Diolch yn fawr iawn, pawb.
Diolch yn fawr, Mr Davies. Mi wna i drosglwyddo rwan i'r swyddog cynllunio, sef Paula Jones. Diolch yn fawr.
Thank you, Chair. Just like to mention that although the ecologist was happy to conditionally approve the application, the applicant has submitted amended plans to address those points. This includes an alternative swallow nest site mitigation, hedgerow gap filling and a bat box on the applicant's house, which is adjacent to the application site. We have also received the ecologist's comments based on these recent amendments. And then she confirms that she's happy with the information, indicating the appropriate biodiversity compensation measures. She will still recommend a pre-commencement condition relating to an ecologically sensitive lighting plan, aligned with the bats and artificial lighting at night guidance. And she also recommends condition that the nesting bird check is carried out on the interior and exterior of the buildings to be converted to 48 hours before the works are scheduled to commence. If birds are nest building or on nest works, will not commence until any young have fledged. So they are conditions that can be added to the condition on to the decision if the application is approved today.
Diolch yn fawr iawn. Y nesaf i siarad ydy cynghorydd Austin Roberts.
Diolch fawr. Hoffwn i fynd gyda'r gymhelliad y swyddog ac i ganiatáu y cais yma.
Diolch yn fawr. Mae gen ni gynigydd. Y cynghorydd Joe Nuttall, ydych chi'n eilio'r cynnig neu eisiau siarad?
I'm not, no, but we have no translation.
Ah.
Or I certainly don't.
Ydy'r cyfieithydd ar gael?
I can now, thank you.
Na ni. Yr cwestiwn o fyny si, ydych chi yn eilio cynghorydd Austin Roberts neu'n dymuno siarad fel arall?
No. Yeah, just to speak, thank you.
Reit. Oce. Gai ddal y cynghorydd Joe Nuttall am eiliad, os yw rwy'n yn eilio cynnig y cynghorydd Austin Roberts? Cynghorydd Alan Hunter yn eilio'r cynnig. Dyna ni, diolch yn fawr. Gai fynd at y cynghorydd Joe Nuttall, os gwelwch yn dda rwan, i siarad.
Diolch. My concern is about the... Sorry, can you hear me?
Yep.
About the pedestrian access, there is... Oh, I am really echoing. Okay. There is no safe pedestrian access. This is a shared access to the house at the bottom, alongside the nurseries, and also the gables at the top just use the top of the drive to cut across to their drive. Are there any mitigation to make it safe for pedestrian access, please?
Paula Jones, diolch yn fawr.
There aren't any proposals to make safe that access. I'm not necessarily sure the applicant owns the entire access anyway, so it wouldn't necessarily be within their powers to do any additional changes. However, when this site has been subject to a number of different planning applications. Previous application was refused for a larger amount of storage units. Now that application went to appeal, and it was dismissed at appeal. Now the inspector didn't necessarily comment on the highway elements, but their main concern was the impact on the green wedge, because they had proposed to change the greenhouses on the site to solid structures. So she felt that that impacted on the green wedge. This proposal is different because it's already it's proposing to change two structures that are already solid in their appearance. So we don't believe that the proposal will have an impact on the green wedge. But because it hasn't been raised as a concern necessarily in the original appeal decision, it's not a matter that we can object to now. But Paul's here anyway, so I don't know if he wants to comment any further on the highway matters.
Paul, diolch yn fawr. Can you hear us?
My understanding is the driveway fell outside of the red line boundary of assessment. It was literally the two areas adjacent to the buildings for parking that formed our assessment. The existing driveway is outside of it. So we have not commented on the driveway. It fell outside of the application.
Oce, diolch yn fawr iawn. Y nesa i siarad ydy'r cynghorydd Dave Jones.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Yes, I was just going to say that I was going to propose or second, but I was beaten to it. Yeah, this is a business that's been there for a long time, and everything has been done to to try to follow, especially the ecologist recommendations. And yes, as long as the ecologist recommendations are followed to the letter, I was happy to second this. Thank you.
Dyna ni, diolch yn fawr. Cynghorydd Alan Hunter.
Yeah, thanks for letting me come back in, Chair. I remember the site visit, I think it was back in 2021, when it was the restoration of the cars. I saw no problems with the site then, so I'm aware of the site, and I don't see any problems now, and that's why I was happy to second the proposal.
Diolch yn fawr. Does e ddim mwy o siaradwyr hyd y gwela i, felly mae gennym ni gynnig gan y cynghorydd Austin Roberts, mae gennym ni eilydd yn y cynghorydd Alan Hunter. Ga i ofyn felly i chi ddangos yn y ffordd arferol drwy ac wrth i ni agor y bleidlais, a'r un fath ydy bod chi'n o blaid, yn erbyn neu ymatal. Pawb wedi pleidleisio, felly gawn ni gair bleidlais os gwelwch yn dda. A felly mae yna 13 o blaid, neb yn erbyn ac 1 yn ymatal. Diolch yn fawr. Awn ni ymlaen i'r cais nesa, sef rhif y cais dim blaenslais 5272 dim, hen gwrt chwaraeon Oak Drive by Colwyn, tudalennau 104 i 106 yn eich pecyn, datblygiad preswyl yn cynnwys codi tair anedd. Mae gennym ni siaradwyr. Yr cyntaf ydy Miss Gemma Campbell sydd yn siarad yn erbyn. So Miss Campbell yn hoffi dod ymlaen os gwelwch yn dda. A ga i'ch atgoffa chi'r un fath 3 minutes to speak. Felly pam da chi'n barod when you're ready.
Thank you. The residents have asked that I speak on their behalf against this application as they feel their written objections are not being fairly considered and that certain paragraphs in the report are factually incorrect. Hopefully you will have received the amendments, however I will briefly outline some of them. Firstly, regarding the policies both in place from this council as well as national policies around protection of heritage assets and the conservation area. Numerous policies have been outlined in the written objections submitted. These are designed to protect not only the conservation area, but moreover the listed buildings in the vicinity of this proposed development. I'm not here to provide a history lesson, but in 1897, the British Architect Journal stated that Walshaw had extensive marine and woodland views. These have been and continue to be protected by the conservation area policies as well as national policies regarding heritage assets and listed buildings. The proposed development will remove these views with 14 houses shoehorned onto this site, and they will negatively impact not just on the 3 listed buildings, but the conservation area as a whole, due to the overdevelopment of the site, which is not in keeping with the general appearance of this area. Secondly, I draw your attention to point 29 in the Planning Committee report. The 10-foot high, 100-year-old beech hedge at the rear of the Dutch house will not be removed to facilitate any construction. It is both protected for its ecological benefit to this area, and the landowner, upon reading this report last week, was shocked to discover this. And he was forced into taking legal action to further protect this hedge, as no permission has been sought and very limited time has been given for assurances from this council that they will continue to support him in protecting this hedge. Furthermore, no permission will ever be granted for this hedge to be removed by the landowner. This beech hedge is not maintained for ornamental purposes. It serves to protect the property from winds across the open playing fields, to protect from the cricket and rugby balls from the playing fields, and it assists with the ever-changing surface water drainage that, due to the building works at Rydal View, has caused. Land that has never previously flooded has now begun to flood, and areas that were previously boggy have dried out. This has already caused a number of mature trees to be damaged, as well as retaining walls down Walshaw Avenue to collapse.
30 seconds.
As such, I respectfully request that members refuse this application. Thank you.
Diolch yn fawr, Mr Campbell. Y nesaf rwan i siarad ydy Mr Rhys Davies, yr asiant sydd yn siarad y blaid, a gai alw ar Mr Davies ymlaen os gwelwch yn dda. Ac yr un ydy'r rheolau 3 munud. Diolch yn fawr, dwi'n gwybod ydych chi'n gyfarwydd ar drefn.
Diolch yn fawr iawn i chi. Thank you for the opportunity to address the Planning Committee in relation to the residential development at the now long disused former tennis court site at Oak Drive. You'll note that there are 2 applications, this one for 3 dwellings, which is referred to in the presentation here, and the subsequent application as well for the additional dwellings, both of which were refused in the summer of 2024 based on 2 quite specific reasons for refusal. Firstly, on drainage grounds, that the application failed to identify the existing means of surface water drainage from the site and did not provide the reassurances required that the proposal would not cause additional discharge into a combined sewer system. And secondly, a reason for refusal just on highway grounds, that the length of the access road and turning head was insufficient to allow refuse vehicles to turn and exit the site in forward gear. Over the last 12 months, the applicant has been working diligently with consultees such as Dŵr Cymru Welsh Water to resolve the proposed connection point for drainage. The amended scheme now before you provides a drainage connection to the north, crossing land owned by Rydal Penrose School to provide a drainage connection to the Welsh Water Public Sewer System at Manol MH5 Lansdowne Road. The connection point was identified through consultation and discussions with Dŵr Cymru, where it was confirmed that the connection point would provide a suitable connection to accommodate flows generated from the development, which then connects shortly to a culverted watercourse, ensuring that foul and surface water flows are not combined. This surface water connection could well go some way to resolve the surface water issues that have been referred to by the speaker that preceded me. No surface water will be allowed to connect to the public sewer. This is a firm condition set out by Dŵr Cymru in their now positive consultation response, and this is reflected in the drainage proposals. The drainage route would need to cross third-party land, as I mentioned, to facilitate the development. It has been agreed by all landowners, and notice has been served on that landowner as part of the planning application. There's a reference in your addendum papers to Rydal Penrose School having confirmed that they've agreed the connection and it's subject to Charity Commission approval. That's a land ownership issue, not a planning issue. In response to the highways reason for refusal last time round, the site layout now has now been amended to allow the length of turning head to provide an adequate turning area. Your Highway Authority have confirmed that the proposal is now acceptable, subject to matters to be dealt with by condition. It's clear, therefore, that previous issues have been addressed, and in that respect, I'd point to the recorded comments by the Colwyn Bay Town Council in your committee report that they accept that all these issues have now been resolved and they raise no objection to the application. Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch yn fawr iawn. Diolch yn fawr. Y trydydd i siarad rwan ydy'r cynghorydd Simon Croft, yn siarad fel un o aelodau ward lleol, sef ward y Rhiw, ac mae'n ei ofyn i cynghorydd Simon Croft dod ymlaen wan i siarad ar un ydy'r rheolau 3 munud. Diolch yn fawr. Thank you.
Iawn, diolch yn fawr, Cadeirydd. Thanks for allowing me to speak as ward member on this application. These 2 applications would represent a gross overdevelopment for the size of this site, especially given that it's in the Portland Crocken Conservation Area. 14 dwellings are proposed for a site that is just larger than 5 tennis courts that used to be there. That works out at nearly 3 houses per tennis court, let alone the area needed for gardens, parking and access road, which has now had to be squeezed in to below adoption standards. This is the complete opposite to the character of the area, having large detached properties sat within large garden plots. Now, to achieve this density, the buildings need to be 3-storey. That's as high as the adjacent trees. But the conservation officer has expressed the view that because the plot is sat well down in the landscape, this could be acceptable impact. But at the east end of the site, this is only 4 metres below the level of Oak Drive. And the house is going to be 9 metres tall, which means they're going to stick up the height of this room above Oak Drive. And I think that's a significant intrusion into our landscape. That's the effect of this is going to be a line of closely spaced 3-storey houses on the view from Oak Drive. It will be significant. There'll be a wall of buildings where there's a great sea view at the moment, and that's going to be experienced by all the current residents and anybody buying new houses on Rydal Fields to get a sea view. They can forget that. We've also got adjacent listed buildings that can't even make minor changes to their properties, but new developments are driving a coach and horses through this special regard that we are supposed to take as decision makers in a conservation area. There's also the matter of drainage, which has been mentioned before, and I noted that Welsh Water have actually refused connection to their public drainage for the rainwater side, and therefore it's going to be going into the culverted drain from Porthlacrocken Woods. And that's in addition to the water that's been added on the rainwater that's coming from the new Rydal View estate, which is another 63 houses. We've already had flooding as recently as 4th of September, and the SUD's approval is still outstanding. The residents are also entitled to know what steps are going to be needed to get firm foundations on the site. With heavy clay on the adjacent Rydal Fields needing extensive pile driving, which was not disclosed at the time of approval. Is there a threat to Oak Drive being undermined as the site is levelled? I can see no soil and ground survey information in the documents. It's really time that this authority decides if conservation areas are to have any meaning at all, because this unsympathetic proposal would be a damaging precedent toward the piecemeal extinction of all the green space in the area. And I request that the committee defer this application until we see drawings to show the sight lines and heights of the buildings. Thank you.
Diolch yn fawr iawn. Diolch i'r tri siaradwr. Dwi rwan yn mynd I drosglwyddo i'r swyddog Sarah Shepherd. Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch, Cadeirydd. Good afternoon, councillors. These are 2 separate planning applications for 3 and 11 dwellings, but they have been assessed and reported as a whole for 14. Both applications are a resubmission of previously refused applications by Planning Committee back in May 2024. There are a few updates within the addendum. Firstly, there is a correction at paragraph 29 of the committee report, which should read, "The woodland to the east of the site screens the development from the properties along Walshaw Avenue. This area of woodland copse is to be retained, which therefore mitigates the impact of the proposed dwellings. The existing hedgerow towards the rear of the Dutch house will be retained and a section of hedgerow to the north removed to facilitate the construction work for the provision of a new public sewer connection towards the north Lansdowne Road. The hedgerow will be replaced with a suitable native mix." In addition, there are 2 further neighbour objections that have been received, in addition to those reported within the committee report. I won't read through them in detail, but I will summarise them. The concerns are existing frequent surface water flooding within the local area and the impact that is having on existing trees and land stability. There are concerns with regards to the density of the development, the small amenity and garden spaces, and the maintenance of the landscaped areas outside of those private gardens. The proposed development is not in keeping with the character and appearance of the conservation area. The impact the development will have on local businesses, especially Airbnbs within the immediate area. Highway safety along Oak Drive. Lack of existing infrastructure capacity to include school provision, access to healthcare and doctors' appointments, road traffic and congestion, with concerns over access for emergency services. There is a presence of Japanese knotweed and concerns with regards to its safe removal. And there are existing covenants on the land restricting further development and the retention of open space. But it would be mindful to note that private covenants are not material planning considerations. We have had a request to defer consideration of these items, as some residents have expressed short notice of the committee meeting date and are not able to attend in person. However, officers do not consider that deferral is justified. We have also received correspondence from representatives of Rydal Penrose School, which confirms that there is an agreement in principle in place to allow for the construction works for the proposed drainage routes through the school playing fields to the north of the site. However, they also state that the school is awaiting a Charities Commission report regarding the land and the long-term maintenance around the easement. And until the school have received this and it has been agreed, no further progress will be agreed from the school. In addition to comments already made within the committee report, a further representation has been submitted by the member of the Senedd, MS Darren Miller, who's made additional comments with concerns of the capacity of local GP practices, NHS dental services and school provision, the current problems with drainage within the area, parking provision for the development and access for emergency services, and concerns that the development is not in keeping with the character and appearance of the buildings in the locality. There are further updates from statutory consultees, CCBC ecologists. They've got no further comments to make, and their previous comments on the refused applications remain relevant. In terms of the provision of a woodland management plan and the recommendations within the preliminary ecological report. North Wales Fire Service have not made any further comments, and CCBC Education have given latest figures on pupil numbers and capacity at the local primary schools, which shows that there are spaces available. They've also confirmed that there are spaces available at secondary school level also. There's no changes to the recommendations in the report.
Diolch yn fawr, Sarah Shepherd. Iawn gyfeillio, mi nhw'n ni agor i'r llawr a chyfle i chi ymateb. Cynghorydd Chris Cater, diolch yn fawr.
Thank you, Chair. I went specifically to have a look at this site again. It's quite well known to me, and it does look unkempt and unmanaged at the moment. It's not looking great. As far as building on tennis courts go, we had 2 tennis courts in Penryn Bay which were built on, and there were 4 decent dwellings that went on there, and the residents are very happy with those 4 houses. So I don't think there really is a problem about the density here. I think we've just got to take the assurances on the drainage and the sewage situation that those problems have been resolved now. So I would like to propose that we go with the officer's recommendation on this. Thank you, Chair.
Diolch yn fawr, Cynghorydd Chris Cater. Y nesaf i siarad ydy Cynghorydd David Carr. Ac ydych chi'n mynd i eilio? Are you going to second?
No, Chair, I won't be second.
OK. Dowch ni, just cyn i chi siarad, Cynghorydd, os yw rhywun sydd yn mynd i eilio Cynghorydd Chris Cater? Dwi'n fo'n swyddogol. Na ni. Tre eto.
Dwi'n fodlon eilio y Cynghorydd Chris Cater.
Diolch yn fawr. Diolch yn fawr. Cynghorydd David Carr.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I think I spoke when this was before. There is a real problem for me. I saw it when I went to West End Dental one day and it was coming out. I couldn't believe the amount of water. And I think residents there are putting up with a lot, and it's not been properly addressed. So there is flooding in that area. So, and for me, you know, I think building houses in an area like that where residents are already experiencing flooding without proper mitigations to that, you know, if you speak to residents that live there, and as the local ward councillor said, I don't think that has been properly addressed. So I've got real concerns about that. The other concern I've got is about West End Surgery and whether that will even remain open. Because I said there was problems, you know, in a previous previous application when we're talking about. It's even worse. I think West End Surgery now is only taking emergency placements, and so again, these are the things that we need to be addressed by the health board. That we're never getting anywhere, are we? you know, every time, you know, we're agreeing to applications, but there just isn't the capacity there. And we have to be able to provide the infrastructure. If we're building new houses, we need to have things, and particularly the GP surgeries need to be available. So I've just got a lot of concerns about this. So, you know, I won't be supporting it. Thank you.
Diolch yn fawr. Cynghorydd Joe Nuttall.
Diolch. Yeah, likewise. There seems to be a lot of unresolved issues here. There's another big housing estate going up. We don't know what effect that's going to have on the area. I've walked there several times when there's been a torrent of water coming down each of those roads down towards the main road, causing a large puddle on the main road. The area's clay soil has very low permeability, making soakaways and attenuation tanks ineffective in that area. I just think there's more work to be done on this, and we need to kind of watch and wait to see what effect the other houses have on it before we put this one through. Thank you.
Diolch yn fawr. Cynghorydd Andrew Wood. Da chi ar mute, Andrew Wood, ond cyn hynny, mi nair chi ar mute. A bod yn deg, just hold on a second, to be fair, mi roedd Sarah Shepherd eisiau dod nôl ag ymateb i'r sylwadau y ddau gynghorydd. Wedyn mi gawn ni cynghorydd Andrew Wood. Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch, Cadeirydd. With regards to the existing and current flooding situation, we have been in discussion with officers from our ERF SAB team, who have explained the current flooding and drainage issues within the Pwyllgor area. The existing problems arise further uphill from blockages from the grates either side of the old highway within Pwyllgor Woods. There is a build-up of debris there, and more recently, the surface water from those grates is redirected down Pwyllgor Avenue and into the current Rydal View development site, Castle Green development, and onto Oak Drive, and then down to Brackley Avenue. ERF Drainage are aware of the current issues, and they are investigating the culverts and the open watercourse, which leads from Pwyllgor Woods down to the sea. They've confirmed that there are current investigations into the route of the culvert, which does go into some private land and some front gardens, but they are doing works to clear those drains and to investigate if there are any blockages within council land, which would be the highways, but also trying to contact neighbours with regards to the location of the private culverts. The purpose of SAB is to provide a betterment in terms of surface water runoff and discharge through restricted flows. So ERF SAB team don't have any objections to the current proposal. And they have made their comments within the committee report. Diolch.
Diolch yn fawr iawn. Cynghorydd Andrew Wood.
Thank you, Chair. It just worries me that there seems to be a lot of unknowns at the moment. You know, the officers just told us about flooding issues and why it may be and what's happening. But ERF may be able to overcome this, and also that the diversion across Charity Commission controlled land for the Penrose. Is there not a question or a case to defer this to till we get proper information, which which would then confirm or not confirm that it is possible? So I'm minded that officers have. Sorry, somebody's jumped in there.
Yeah, okay.
I'll leave it at that then. Thank you.
Diolch yn fawr. Na i alw Ceri Thomas I mewn. Diolch, Ceri.
Diolch, Cadeirydd. I'd just like to explain the concept of a gramping condition, because we are looking at a condition that would effectively mean that they would not be able to commence the development until they have a drainage scheme approved. And as part of that drainage scheme, we would require confirmation that the easement had been acquired from the school to provide access onto Lansdowne Road, so that development wouldn't involve any surface water into the existing private culvert. It would connect onto Lansdowne Road. Now, I'd just like to remind members that the policy test for Grampian conditions is that there has to be a reasonable condition, that the requirements of that condition can be delivered within the lifetime of the planning permission. And we have been given assurances, firstly by Welsh Water, that they would be prepared in principle to accept a surface water connection onto the surface water drain on Lansdowne Road. And secondly, we have had confirmation from the school that they would be prepared in principle to enter into or grant an easement over their land to allow that connection to be made. The only reason why the easement hasn't yet been granted is that, as the school is a charity, they are required to undertake certain procedures with the Charity Commission. But we are satisfied on the information that's available to us that there is a reasonable prospect that the drainage constraints which officers raised at the last application have now been overcome, and that we can then proceed with the matter by means of a Grampian condition. Now, in the event that Welsh Water were not to grant a connection onto Lansdowne Road, or for whatever reason the easement was not granted, then the development could not proceed. But we do feel that there is sufficient basis for proceeding on the basis of a Grampian condition. There's one other final point. I'm very well aware of the surface water problems, and we sometimes see during periods of heavy rainfall, we see the surface water problems along Coedpella Road and Pwyllgor Avenue, and I've certainly witnessed those problems for myself. But as a planning authority, all we can determine is the impact of this particular development. We're not in a position to use the planning process to remedy existing problems. It is the effect of this particular development that we need to address. Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch yn fawr. Cynghorydd David Carr yn fyr, os gwelwch yn dda.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I think there needs to be some common sense here, because what we're saying is there's no guarantees for the residents that live in that area that we're going to resolve the flooding issues, and they're having to put with that flooding. And also, there is an argument that if we do build build these new properties, then the flooding is going to actually get worse. So there's no guarantees there. So, I have real reservations about that. We need, and I appreciate what Kerry had to say, but we nearly need to resolve the situation for residents, that experience these flooding problems. And I've seen it myself. It is really bad. Before we move on to build new properties. So it's a bit like, we're saying this might happen or that might happen, but they're not offering any guarantees the flooding will stop. And obviously there's a real risk that the flooding will get worse if more houses are built. So they're my concerns. Thank you.
Diolch fawr. Does e ddim... Mae gennym ni gynigydd ag eilydd. Os e unrhyw gynnig arall? Mae gennym ni cynghorydd Chris Cater wedi wneud cynnig o blaid a mynd gydag argymhelliad y swyddogion a'r cynghorydd Austin Roberts yn eilio. Os e unrhyw gynnig arall? Nag oes felly gai ofyn i'r swyddog agor yr bleidlais, yr un ffordd o blaid, yn erbyn neu ymatal. Diolch yn fawr. Pawb wedi pleidleisio? Na ni gai ofyn ac o'n i gau'r bleidlais, os gwelwch yn dda. Felly 10 o blaid, 4 yn erbyn a neb yn ymatal. Diolch yn fawr. Da ni'n symud rwan gyda'r cais sydd yn berthnasol, wrth gwrs, sydd yn blaenorol, sef dim blaenslais 5279, hyn gwrt chwaraeon Oak Drive by Colwyn, datblygiad preswyl yn cynnwys codi 11 anedd ynghyd â chreu mynedfa newydd i gerbydau ffordd fynediad tirlunio a gwaith cysylltiedig. Dwi'n ymwybodol bod y 3 siaradwr blaenorol wedi rhoi cais i siarad ar hwn. Ydych chi'ch 3 yn dymuno siarad unwaith eto? Yep, dyna ni. Felly gai alw ar Ms Gemma Campbell, os gwelwch yn dda, i ddod i anerch. Yr un ydy'r rheol, 3 munud. Os gwelwch yn dda. Pan da chi'n barod, when you're ready.
Thank you. The playing fields of Rydal Penrose are something this area and the school are especially proud of, with the school recently having spent tens of thousands of pounds to upgrade and maintain their excellent sporting provision. No written permission has been granted by the landowners, although point 51 in the report states that that is the case. It seems the school has been approached, however, no terms have been agreed with Mist, who own the land, and now with the news that the beachhead cannot be removed, that would mean a further 6 metres into those playing fields would need to be agreed. No landowner would agree to this without guarantee that the land could be returned to its previous state. Cricket pitches and rugby pitches take years to be in the excellent state that they are at Rydal Penrose, and this will not be something they will consider lightly. Welsh Water and ERF have both highlighted the historic flooding issues and that the domestic foul from these proposed 14 houses is all that the public sewage network has capacity for. The report in itself states in point 46 onwards that the usual surface water drainage mitigation, such as soakaways, is not appropriate due to the clay ground in this area. The surrounding roads we've heard during heavy rainfall, not named storms, not 1 in 100 weather events, flood. Torrents pour down Pwyllgor Avenue, Brackley Avenue, Walshaw Avenue, and they flood both Lansdowne Road and Conway Road. They're not mere puddles. This area is also untested regarding those 63 house development at Rydal View, and to even consider an additional 14 houses in the same area that does not have suitable surface water drainage plan in place seems preposterous. The surface water will simply drain into the public sewage network, which does not and is evidenced as not having the capacity for this additional strain. For this, we cannot work on probabilities and hopes that it will be okay and resolved. This development either needs a significant reduction in houses on the site or much more robust assurances and detailed plans as to exactly how both foul and surface water will be managed. And at present, as we've heard, it still doesn't have this. Only yesterday, Conway Owen was unaware of the change of direction of the culvert that goes through on the historic documents of Rydal Mount Fields. He is currently reviewing it, but he's not actually had time as he only discovered this yesterday and still needs to view the details on land registry and looking at the deeds of the Dutch house, because going across the playing fields is of serious concern, and as such, all of the residents respectfully request that the members of this committee refuse this application. Thank you. Diolch.
Diolch yn fawr. Siaradwr nesa, wan ydy Mr Rhys Davies, yr asiant sydd yn siarad o blaid. Ar un ydy'r rheole, Mr Davies, fel da chi'n gwybod pan da chi'n barod. Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch yn fawr os gai ymateb i'r sylwadau sydd wedi codi yn fanna. If I can just respond to the points that have been raised. Kerry quite rightly kind of made the point that this drainage connection across the Rydal School fields would be subject to a Grampian condition. If that condition cannot be satisfied, the development won't go ahead. So there are assurances there that the drainage connection, as referred to on the plan application, is what will happen if Rydal are in agreement. As your officer mentioned, there is confirmation of that agreement with the officers of Rydal School. Heads of terms have been agreed and they've been diligently negotiated over the last year or so when this drainage issue came to light. The drainage connection across the fields is the same for the application that you've just approved as it is for the one that's now before you. So same principle applies. The safeguards are there. You've heard references to current surface water flooding events. They're not a consequence of development on this site. They're not a consequence of the site as it is at the moment. There is no attenuation as a site on this site as it is at the moment. This development has to provide surface water attenuation, and the safe agreed outfall for that surface water is being agreed in detail with Welsh Water, with consultants working diligently on over the last 12 months, and also with your own authority as a SAB authority. So the assurances that you're looking for are there. The detail is on the planning application. It's been well scrutinised by your officers and external consultees. So as per the last application, I trust that you'd be now in a position to approve this current application. Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch yn fawr, Mr Davies. Y trydydd siaradwr ydy'r cynghorydd Simon Croft, ac yn siarad eto fel un o aelodau'r ward lleol, ward yr Rhiw. A yr un ydy'r rheolau I cynghorydd Croft. Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch, Cadeirydd. Yeah, thank you for letting me speak again. I still stand with my previous comment about, and I think the height, nobody in the committee has expressed any reservations at all that I can hear about the conservation area and what this would do to it. I really think it is time the council makes a stand on conservation, or just drop this sham that we seem to be maintaining in public, because we do not. I mean, the heritage impact statement by the developers basically says it's been done elsewhere. We've written coach and horses through the conservation area, so the precedent's been set, and there it goes. Goodbye, conservation area. On the talking about the flooding issues, during the Rydal Field application, we were promised a survey of the drainage all the way down to the beach, including CCTV and etc. in the culverted areas. And I do not believe that has ever been done because I've not seen any evidence of it adduced in this application or since as a ward member. I would like to know if that's actually been done and what has been learned from it. It sounds like ERF are only now investigating because of this new development that what has actually been happening with that drain. It's not really good enough. We need to know in advance what effect that this extra housing is going to have on it. I do agree that it will be better to be attenuated, but we've already got a problem, let alone the attenuated outfall from this new development. Thank you, Chair.
Diolch yn fawr, cynghorydd Simon Croft. Felly, na I drosglwyddo'r swyddog, os gwelwch yn dda, I Sarah Shepherd.
Diolch, Cadeirydd. The addendum updates were reported in the previous application and there are no further comments.
Diolch yn fawr iawn. Felly, mae'n agored i'r llawr gyfeillion ac I chi aelodau. Cynghorydd Gwenol Ellis.
Diolch yn fawr, Gadeirydd. Does gynna I ddim, dwi'n mynd I gynnig, ond swn i'n hoffi tynnu sylw yr aelodau at enw y stryd yma, Pwll y Crochan. Os oes yna rhywun wedi edrych, mae Pwll yn golygu pŵl a Crochan yn golygu y big cauldron. Felly ar ryw adeg, mae yna rhywun wedi sylweddoli bod yna grochan yn byblo fan hyn efo dŵr. Felly, jyst cofiwch hynny pan ydych chi'n gwneud eich penderfyniad fan hyn. Mae yna rhyw reswm pan bod wedi cael ei alw'n Pwll y Crochan. Dyna chwbl sgynna I ddeud.
Diolch yn fawr, cynghorydd Gwenol Ellis. Y nesa, ga I alw ar cynghorydd Chris Cater, os gwelwch yn dda.
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy to second Councillor Gwenol, but I do take exception to the ward members' accusation that we don't take conservation areas seriously in this planning committee. I would push back on that. We are very aware of the value of conservation areas as well as the impact on heritage assets and biodiversity and the impact on trees. And members will have read the report and the our officers and our experts have extensively considered the impact and they have come to their conclusion. So I do take exception to that. This committee does take conservation areas seriously. Thank you, Chair.
Diolch yn fawr, cynghorydd Chris Cater. Cynghorydd David Carr.
Well, it's the same argument with the last application that the flooding for existing residents, and I don't think you can guarantee if you build these housing it won't make the flooding worse. That's certainly a great possibility. As the ward member said, there's a conservation we really do need to look at that really. And Councillor Cater says that we have looked at it, but I'm not too sure about that. I think we do need to sort of really sort of look at these applications in a lot more detail before we go ahead with them. There just seems to be so many problems with the flooding, conservation area. When you look at the infrastructure, we haven't got the places in the local searches. There's just so many problems with it, isn't there, really? And I think we should step back and take stock. So as of last time, I won't be supporting this. Thank you.
Os yw rhywun arall yn dymuno siarad, dyn ni'n edrych am rhywun i wneud cynnig, un ffordd neu llall. Cynghorydd Chris Kate.
Yeah, sorry, I thought, Councillor, my apologies to Councillor Gwennell. I thought she had proposed that we go with the officer's recommendation. If that's not the case, I'd be happy to propose that we go with the officer's recommendation. Thank you, Chair.
Diolch yn fawr. Cynghorydd Chris Cater yn cynnig. Se rhywun yn barod i eilio? Cynghorydd Andrew Wood. Dyna ni, mae gennym ni...
Yep, happy to second.
Diolch yn fawr. Mae gennym ni gynigydd a mae gennym ni eilydd. Os e unrhyw gynigiad arall? Nag oes, felly, nawn ni agor y bleidlais yn y modd arferol o blaid, yn erbyn neu ymatal, a gai ofyn i'r swyddog agor y bleidlais. Pawb wedi pleidleisio, felly gai ofyn am gair bleidlais. A dyma nhw'r canlyniadau 10 o blaid, 4 yn erbyn a neb yn ymatal. Felly, diolch yn fawr iawn i chi. Nw'n ni symud ymlaen wan at y cais nesaf. Rhif dim blaenslais 5248, Clwb Golf Conwy, Beacons Way, Conwy. A codi adeilad hanner ffordd i gynnwys arlwyo heb ei baratoi, swyddfa, toiledau, ddynion a merched a gosod system dŵr budur i gysylltu a'r twll archwilio presennol. Dyma ydy'r cais a na i drosglwyddo rwan i'r swyddog cynllunio. Diolch, Liz Wood.
Diolch, Chair. Just some updates in the addendum. The application has been advertised in the press as a departure from policy DP6 and the expiry date for representations ends on the 22nd of October. Therefore, officers seek consent to determine the application under delegation once the time period from consultation responses has expired. Welsh Water have provided further comments and they refer back to their response in April of this year, which included a holding response to clarify the relationship of the proposed new private 150mm diameter foul sewer as donated on the plans in relation to their existing 32mm public water main asset which crosses the site. There's no public foul sewer which crosses the application site. And they've stated that our response suggested the opportunity to reposition the works outside the defined protection zone for the public water main asset. Works proposed within defined protection zones of our public foul water main assets may require separate consent through the Water Industry Act. And they've also stated that may not necessarily follow if permission is granted. They've requested that on the basis of submitted plans that haven't been revised, if members are minded to grant permission, that the conditions and advisory notes are included in there to ensure that no surface water or land drainage is allowed to connect to the public sewage system. They've also asked that in regard to the asset protection, of the water main, that a survey is undertaken to define exactly where that is and that a detailed plan is shown of that and also the relationship to the proposed new foul water connection. And if necessary, that this could be diverted, they may need to divert the asset so that it's outside the asset protection zone. And they've asked that that's carried out before any such works on the development or take place. And there's no further updates. Thank you.
Diolch yn fawr, diolch i'r swyddog. Na i agor i'r llawr felly, i chi aelodau. Cynghorydd Nia Owen.
Diolch yn fawr iawn, Gadeirydd. Ie, dwi'n fwy na hapus i gynnig bod ni yn cyd-fynd ag argymelliad y swyddogion, gan gynnwys yr amodau mae'r swyddogion wedi i gosod yn yr adroddiad.
Diolch yn fawr iawn. Cynghorydd Ceir Edhead.
Yeah, and I'm happy to second that. Thank you, Chair.
Dyna ni, ardderchog. Dwi'n yn gweld mwy o siaradwyr, felly gai ofyn a gawn ni agor y bleidlais os gwelwch yn dda. Ar yr un ydy'r drefn o blaid yn erbyn neu ymatal, a felly gawn ni agor y bleidlais. Pawb wedi pleidleisio, gan ni gair bleidlais, felly yn unfrydol 40 o blaid. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Ag i'r cais ola, gyfeillion a chyfle i Cynghorydd Nia Owen ag Cynghorydd Austin Roberts i adael ystafell, nid yr adeilad. Diolch yn fawr. Rhif y cais, dim blaenslais 5271, 29 Heol Dimbech, Llanrwst, i strannu a newid defnydd yr eiddo A1 siopau presennol yn cynnwys ei storfa tegol, gofod llawr ac ystafell gyfarfod ar lawr gwylod yr adeilad i eiddo defnydd cymysg yn cynnwys siop, lleoliad gweithgareddau a digwyddiadau cymunedol, a chaffi a gweithdy artist masnachol a stiwdio ar gyfer ei osod B1 busnesau. A Paula, dwi'n credu, Paula Jones, na i drosglwyddo i'r swyddog cynllunio. Diolch yn fawr.
I have no updates, thank you, Chair.
Dyna ni, gyfeillion, does e ddim byd mwy ychwanegu. Mae gennym ni y cynghorydd Gwennol Ellis.
Hoffwn ni gynnig bod ni'n mynd efo argymhelliad y swyddogion i gymeradwyo'r cais yma.
Diolch yn fawr, cynghorydd Gwennol Ellis. Cynghorydd Alan Hunter.
Yeah, happy to second this. Looks like it's going to be a really good community space for Llanrwst, so yeah.
Diolch yn fawr iawn. Os e unrhyw siaradwyr arall, dwi ddim yn gweld neb di wneud cais, felly mi awn ni i'r bleidlais. Mae gen i gynigydd ag eilydd, gawn ni agor y bleidlais. Yr un ydy'r drefn o blaid yn erbyn neu ymatal. Os gawn ni agor y bleidlais, diolch yn fawr. Pawb wedi pleidleisio, felly gawn ni gair bleidlais, a mae'r bleidlais yn unfrydol 12 o blaid. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Felly dyna ni ddiwedd y cyfarfod. Mae wedi bod yn dipyn o farathon, ond gai ddiolch i chi gyd yn swyddogion ac aelodau am eich mewnbwn. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Hwyl fawr.
Thank you, Tristan.